are 5 essential skills that I think every homeschooler should have or should be actively trying to cultivate during their homeschool years. They are vision, emotional regulation, consistency, the ability to tolerate slow progress, and boundaries. And in today's video, we're going to talk about each one of those, inshallah. The first skill that is needed is vision. What is the purpose of your homeschool? What sort of adults would you like to raise? Who would you like them to be when they leave your home to go and start their own home as a result of your nurturing and the education that you provided? Vision allows you to navigate curriculum, it allows you to navigate educational philosophies, and it allows you to stay the course when really good ideas come up, but because you have vision and you sort of know where you're going and what you're doing, you know that's a good idea, but it's not going to work really for what I'm trying to produce. Your vision needs to be written and reviewed regularly in order to keep you focused, because life has a way of taking you here and there, and if your vision is not front of mind, then you might get lost and then eventually come back to that vision in the first place, but then a lot of time has been lost because you haven't been focused. So it needs to be written, it needs to be reviewed regularly. The next skill is emotional regulation. Kids constantly misplace things. You're explaining concepts over and over again. Kids give you issues about doing work, as if they don't do it every day. Oh, we gotta do it again. Like, yes. Well, you need to be able to hold your frame, as they say. Allow however you're feeling to wash over you and still choose or have a standard of how you're going to respond in those situations, regardless of how you feel. And it's so important because if I'm frustrated or irritated during math, then my kid isn't going to have a good experience with math, and then they may not even learn it all that well because they're feeling my energy. In the book Brain Rules, Dr. John Medina states, the emotional stability of the home is the single greatest predictor of academic success. So something that we can do is name our trigger subjects first. Mine is math, okay? I wasn't good at math during school, and I don't want my kids to not be good at math. And so I am really on it for math time. I'm just like, look at my eyes. So I know that that's my trigger subject. Beforehand, before we even start our trigger subject, we can just remind ourselves that they're little struggling babies who don't know, okay? And we are here to guide them and help them. During the subject, if you feel yourself getting irritated or frustrated, get up, make yourself some tea or some coffee if it's in the morning time, and just take a little break for a minute and recenter yourself. Retell yourself those things that you need to hear, and then come back. The third skill is consistency. Nothing messes up progress more than inconsistency. One day you're doing school, the next day you're not, the next day is like partial. That messes up momentum so bad, and you will constantly get pushed back. You will constantly get kids that don't know what's going on or are half doing work because there isn't a consistent standard every single day of what we do and how we do it. So you need a consistent schedule, consistent subjects, and consistent in the order of how you do those subjects every single day. And you need also consistent break times. Not that many, but whatever break time you have is consistent every school day. Over time, you will notice less surprise when you say, it's math time. To get more consistent, as I say, you need to have a schedule, and then you need to run the schedule, okay? have the schedule, run the schedule. The third skill is the ability to tolerate slow progress. You need to feel like progress is happening even if it's slow. Teaching children to read can be like watching paint dry. Okay? If you're doing it right, which is no apps, phonics only program, no sight words, and a decodable book set. I said what I said.
I said what I said, and
always.
I'm not changing on it, okay?
It can be challenging to get through that because you feel like you're sounding out the same words every single day, and it's like, oh my gosh. But the end product is so incredibly rewarding for you to be able to say, by Allah, I did that. By Allah, we started from the bottom and now we're here. By Allah, they didn't know how to read a few months ago. Now they're blending really well, and now we're moving on from there. It's so rewarding to see. So tolerate the slow progress. Know that there is progress that is happening, and then at the end of it, know that there will be such reward when you can say, I taught my child how to do this. Skill number 4 is separating your child's progress from yourself. On one end, you'll be proud of the progress. You know, I did that, by Allah, alhamdulillah. On the other end, when our children aren't doing well, we also feel the pain of it. And when our kids are struggling, we often blame ourselves, whether we're homeschooling or they're in public school. I dealt with that when I took my oldest child out of school, which started this whole homeschooling thing. At the end of the day, we put in the work. We ask Allah to put barakah in our time and in our teaching and all of that. But our children are individuals who have their own mountains that they need to climb, basically. So we put in the work, but our kids may not get things exactly right away. And that's okay. That doesn't mean that you are terrible at what you're doing or that you shouldn't homeschool. It just means that they're children and they're struggling. There's going to be a lot of people when you start homeschooling that don't really believe in you, don't believe in your ability to homeschool, tell you that you're not qualified. And if you're not careful about having this mindset, it can make you feel like maybe they were right about you. Maybe you shouldn't be homeschooling. And that's the wrong idea. Think about the children that are in public school right now. There are so many, okay? We're over here in the United States. There are so many who are not reading well, who aren't doing math well, okay? With qualified teachers in school. So it's not about qualified or not. Again, it's just your child is struggling. So it's a problem to solve, but it's not necessarily your fault if you are working every day and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, okay? So your child might need more time, more scaffolding, more strategies to understand a topic better, or just more repetition. And the 5th skill is boundaries. Boundaries for yourself and for others around your homeschool. So you need to respect your time, and you need to ensure that other people are going to respect your time as well. So that means during school time, your phone is away. We have errand times that are not during homeschool time. We try to make any appointments that are not, dire during our break weeks or after school if possible. Spontaneous things come up, obviously. Just recently, we do school year round, 6 weeks on, a week off, and we are in our 6-week block. But my dad was in town, and him and other family members that we don't get to see that often were going out to like a fun place with games and indoor outdoor stuff. And it was a school day, but of course we're gonna go. You know, it's a great time. So, and it's summer, so of course we're gonna go. But that was really, really fun because we don't often do things like that. But ultimately, don't allow people to say, oh, she's at home, let me call or let me come by, because they're not respecting what you do. You know, don't let them do that. Have a boundary with yourself and with others. During school time, I'm unavailable because it's a job. So inshallah, this video has helped you in some way. Comment below which one of those you may be struggling with the most. I'd love to hear it and talk about it with you. So have a good day, and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.